people usually think, oh, once you get married and you have kids, traveling is done. And that is not the case.
Are you ready? Hi guys, I'm Robbie and you are listening to or watching the Lost Creator podcast. A podcast or a show in which we get to meet some of the most unique and inspiring content creators who will hopefully inspire you to also escape that 9 to 5 and live out your dreams. And joining us today, we have the incredible family members behind Travel is Epic. We have we have Al and Evie. However, we are missing one other member of the Travel is Epic family.
We have the little guy, Matteo.
The guy looks like a little dog, maybe.
And it's such a shame because in fact it was him that I was hoping to speak to mainly.
We can set up a play date for you guys.
That sounds great. No, but thank you so much for being here. Is there any chance that I might be able to offer you a drink? Maybe would you like something to drink? We have some whiskey. We've got some vodka, beer, perhaps Coke, water, soda water,
Water.
just a water.
Water is good.
Water is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. We'll get
Maybe
you
whiskey.
water.
One whiskey.
I'm gonna have a whiskey. I'm an Irishman.
I know.
So
Un poco de whiskey.
poco de whiskey.
That's like my family's like joke all the time. Un poquito de whiskey.
Poquito de whiskey.
Yeah.
You know what they always say when we drink a lot of water? They say, water is really dangerous. You know how many people
Die from water.
die from drowning in water. You never heard somebody dying from drowning in whiskey.
So true. So
Yeah.
true. I've heard a statistic that says 100% of people that drink water die. So
100%.
it's a pretty
100%.
that's a pretty high statistic. But anyway, guys, I want to know a little bit more about your background. And obviously, I know that you've been creating content as a family, probably even before, just as a couple. So let's wind it back a little bit. How did you two meet?
How did it?
I let her say the story.
So we met online. We met on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah. And I messaged him.
A 21st century love story.
Yes.
I know, right? We met on Facebook. It was funny because we had like mutual friends, and we went to the same like gym. We were always like in the same circle, but we never met each other. And
she picked me up.
then he
She picked
friend
me up.
requested me, and I was like,
How you
doing?
How you doing?
And I was like, how you doing?
So you slid into his DMs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. But again, very 21st century.
Yes.
You know,
A go-getter.
very, very, very.
That's a go-getter.
That's a go-getter. Very progressive.
Yes.
And then sort of after that, at what point was the sort of content creation journey beginning for you guys?
Content
I think
creation.
we need to do a little wind everything back.
Yeah.
So Al, right? I came to the US 12 years ago, 14 years ago by now. And I friend request Evie because she was working on TV for 10 years. So I was like, ooh, who's that hot chick on TV? And she's from our city. I was like, oh shit.
Wait, so you'd seen her on TV?
I've seen her on TV and I saw that we fairly in the same location and like I see her on Facebook and we're mutual friends. So that's why I followed her. It's like single guy.
What was it you saw her in? If you don't mind me asking, what was it that you?
I just saw pictures of her with people that I know. And I was like, ooh, who's this one?
Okay.
So I followed her, and I was like, "Oh, she's on TV." I was like, "Oh, this is too like."
It's funny because
you don't message people on TV.
Things...
It's like, you don't message someone from TV. It's like, whatever, and then like.
and he never messaged me, so like I don't know, like I was like, how come he doesn't message me?
And then 2 months later, she messaged me,
Salud.
so I was like,
Salud. Cheers.
Arriba,
Arriba, para abajo, al centro, para adentro. Y quien no apoya, no folla.
Ay, ese no lo había escuchado. I haven't heard that one.
Never heard that one.
Well, now you know.
Nice.
So
Do you know what it means, though?
Nope.
Maybe you can tell them after. The
I will
podcast.
tell you after. This is rated PG.
Yeah. So then after 2 months, then she messaged me. So that was cool. I was like, oh shit, someone from TV.
Yeah, so then getting into like the whole content creation aspect of it, we always loved to travel, like even before we got married and had a baby. Then the whole content creation, I think it was something that happened really organic and naturally coming from television. I was always like producing segments or content for the show. I was in a network called Telemundo, which is like a Spanish.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a big Spanish network in the US. So I used to do like the morning talk show, and I was always recording little travel segments for them. Like that was always like I was like, oh, can we like add this? Like, can I do an adventure and like add it? So we always traveled as a couple. Then when the pandemic hit, everything, like all my show, like I had my show got canceled. There were no in-person auditions. And then it was like, okay, what are we going to do next? And then like, like I started reaching out to companies started reaching out to me, like, can you produce a commercial for me? So then he started to learn how to like, navigate the cameras and everything. And I was like, so then we kind of started doing that like on the professional side, but then traveling happened also during the pandemic. We were like, how are we going to still travel but quarantine? So then we decided to rent an RV. We went like through the US in
Did a
an
bit of
RV.
a bit of the old van life.
Yeah, if we can't leave the house, we gotta take the house with us.
And we're
So,
like technically quarantined.
technically quarantine.
Technically.
Like
quarantine.
technically.
Yeah.
Quarantine.
So we went to a bunch of like trailer parks in the US. That was a lot of fun.
We were by far the youngest people. The
Yes.
most colorful people. Like,
Yes, it
who are
was-
you guys? Like you see like Americans.
No, I was like, who are you guys?
That's
definitely not a country accent.
what is
but-
hummus? I've never heard of hummus in my life.
What's hummus?
We've seen so many people that never
Yeah.
heard what's hummus in their life.
Really?
And now I'm a hot dog dude. How old are you? 55. I'm just a hot dog and pizza. And burgers.
Yeah, so-
burgers and celebrations.
Yeah, so we met a lot of interesting people during the RV, experience. Then when things started to slowly open up, we were like, oh, maybe like the RV, maybe that's not like what we want to do right now yet. Maybe later on. So then we decided that we just
On
wanted
a long term.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
right,
Like
yeah.
we were like, I don't know if we want to like,
To keep
live in
this
an
up.
RV forever.
Yeah.
So then we were like, okay, we're gonna do this full time. We decided to sell our house, everything. We literally got rid of everything. We put stuff like, we sold everything, gave stuff away, and then we started our journey. Like just traveling the world and basically being homeless.
content, yeah, from traveling.
Creating content, as a family. And
But I think the message is we definitely started in the pandemic when all work stopped, because I owned retail shops in the US and all the malls closed down, and now we are home and income stopped too.
yeah.
So we had to recreate ourselves. So pandemic was great. We're home for 6 months. We didn't know what to do. I learned how to use camera. Bought camera, watched a lot of YouTube, what to do, how to do, reached out to some friends who are photographers, and I have a few friends who taught me a lot of things, and it's great. And then
Yeah.
But your experience prior to that with cameras or
no,
it was like
nothing.
zero.
Zero. I mean,
He had like
just
a
like a
little-
regular
yeah, he
person
just-
who know how to buy an expensive camera, put it on auto. Auto. Take a picture.
No, and then he learned everything.
Never knew
like-
what the M means. Like, what's M?
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
also, yeah. I mean, it's obviously, I think the pandemic, obviously, as horrible as it was for many, I think there was a lot of benefits that it came to people who
Absolutely.
definitely needed to try and kind of like reinvent themselves or get to really know themselves in a new, different light. Because when you are so isolated, you spend a lot of time with yourself, and it's a really good time to start working on
learn
your
something
goals
new.
and start thinking about where you want to go when things can start to open up a little bit, when you start
Yeah.
to learn a little bit more about yourself. And then Matteo came along.
Oh, he came along right before the pandemic.
Right
so he
before
was
the
a baby.
September
yeah, so
19th.
we were September 19th, the pandemic hit like in March. So he was just like 6 months. So he was 6 months old when we were, at home.
Perfect.
We were creating all sorts of content, like commercials for like rug companies, like baby products, everything that you could possibly imagine. Like we were like
So Evie really thought that because she got pregnant at the beginning, so we thought that content creation will like slow down, or like commercials will slow down, because she was working with brands before. And then actually when she got pregnant, we realized that the pregnancy high quality.
Yeah, it opened the doors to a lot of a new world of opportunities, because when you're coming into like the whole field of television and like you're getting into like modeling and all of that, you're like, oh my God, you can't be a mom. And I think that stigma for women has changed so much when it comes to becoming a mother and still being career oriented. And now through the tools that social media has given us, we can truly hone our business, our craft, have your career and online. You're your own boss. You create your own hours. You can still, have your family and truly have a business not on the side, but be a part of your life. When I
And
was,
of course, doing this, like in doing this, you're doing something that you love as well. Like
yes,
this is like
at the same time.
you enjoy every single day. It's
And also, I am with my family. When I was working on television, it was literally I would be gone the whole entire day recording. Like whatever were the tasks that I had to do, and
long shifts.
Yeah. Oh
very
yeah.
long,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Film and media production.
Absolutely. Some days from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
yeah.
to shoot like a 1 hour.
Yeah.
Sorry. A
1
1 minute
scene.
commercial.
Yeah,
Should be
yeah.
out of the house for 2 days straight from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Missing life, and then like now we're doing the same thing from home.
Yeah, and even like when people think like, oh, you were probably making so much money on television. I'm like, no, social media is where it's at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's where that
complete-
dollar.
Yeah.
The complete opposite.
Yeah, the complete opposite.
Because before, if you think about it, before they had to pay for like studio, for camera guy, for lighting guy, for microphone, for makeup artist, for her, all this, blah, 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 and then like to the talent. Yeah, a lot of time the talent wouldn't get as much. Well, each one would get like, let's say, a fair pay, but you gotta pay 10 different elements.
Yeah.
Now, when you do everything, they can still pay half, and you still get 5 times more, and like it's amazing, and it's like way easier. It's like freaking like world changing.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and going back to, being a family, social media really, you can be yourself, you can be authentic, you can display your family on social media, and people, especially like the route that we decided to go to, which is, travel as a family, where we want to inspire other families to travel. People usually think, oh, once you get married and you have kids, traveling is done. And that is not the case. I think in this day and age, you can still continue to do everything you love. Obviously, there's more planning and organizing yourself, but you can still do what you love and still see the world. And I think it's the most beautiful thing that you can give your children, to be able to experience other cultures, other languages, other foods, and they'll be able to relate. Like, I know that our son, Matteo, like, he's looking at the world and he says things while we're here in Indonesia. He's like speaking some like Bahasa, and he's like, like saying different animal names. So I think that it's beautiful, and that's our goal, is to be able to inspire other families to be able to see that this is possible,
Yeah, I think there's also a question that gets very commonly asked when someone is doing something that's very busy. It's this idea of like, how do you balance your work and life and family, and here it's just like the perfect combination, because you've managed to find a way where your family is a part of the work.
Yes.
And your life is your work, so it's all perfectly like culminated into one thing there. So
Absolutely.
obviously congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
obviously also being a parent comes with its challenges as well. It mustn't be easy, but to be able to have all of it be a part of this one thing just does allow you to kind of overcome some of those obstacles, because they're happening maybe more frequently, so they become less like problems and more just like
Also,
everyday.
I think that when you're traveling as a family, you have the help of your partner, because a lot of times, when you're raising a child, and let's say whether the woman or the man, in this day and age, it could be it could be whichever parent. One usually has to stay back or do both, or be working and then having to come home and take care of the kids. When you are traveling, you have a team, like your partner is your team, so you're really, like, we do everything together, and if one of us has to work, we take turns, and so it is a team effort. And I think that when you're traveling, that there's no other way. If you're not a team, like, you cannot do it by yourself.
But when it comes to the social channels, would you say there's one of you who's maybe kind of a little bit more in control of how things are going out, when they're going out, how they're being posted?
So he has a really good... You want to answer?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
I'm just giving you guys a stage. I'm just enjoying my clear whiskey.
If you want an extra whiskey...
No, we don't drink.
Oh, of course.
We don't drink.
No,
We're parents.
Take an extra one for me.
neither do I. So we're fine.
So it depends on what. When it comes to the word control, if it's like traveling in the house and stuff like that, I will like take some more control. But my 100% of my focus is always lifting my talent, my home talent.
I can't deal with these two. So adorable.
So she's the face. You see, I've given her the stage. But thank you for letting me talk. So I am focusing on her career because I kind of like I'm a true salesperson. You know, I had the retail shops, and that's what I do. I recognize a great business opportunity right here where we met.
And I married
Yeah,
this.
like
And I
that
married
one.
the business. But it's literally just like that. So I'm focusing on our number one product. It's Evi Ciscos.
No, but it's not like that. No, but
No. But it is like that. But it's not in a bad way, right? So she's more in front of the camera. I'll be more behind the camera. I'll be watching Matteo a little bit more often when she needs to record and build the course, and then we build the commercials and all that kind of stuff, which is perfectly fine. We balance it perfect, and that's what it is. But when it comes to like what to do on social media and stuff like that, a lot of times she'll take the control because she still has more experience and she knows how to be in front of the camera better and all
but
that
he's
kind of
he's
stuff.
really good at producing. So I feel like we really balance each other
Yeah.
out
Yeah, yeah.
because he comes up with like
The idea, what to
the
do, how
idea
to
like
record
this,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
like what goes out there, you know, like okay, let's do it like this, like so it really going back to the team effort. It really is a team effort.
Don't leave him hanging.
She missed
Oh,
it. She missed it. She turned her head right before. It's not your fault. Not your fault. Not your fault. Not your fault.
Team effort. Yeah.
See you later.
But obviously, team being very strong here with the two of you. But there is, as we mentioned, there is a missing member here, which is Matteo, and he's a big sort of
Matteo,
a big
yes.
part of what Travel is Epic is now a part of. And so, tell me a little bit more about bringing in your son. He's 3 years old.
he's about
Yeah.
to be 3 in
He's
September.
about to be 3. So tell me a little bit more about bringing him into the content creation world. How is he finding it?
He was
You know?
born to it.
He's an
He was born-
influencer.
he was
He's an
molded-
influencer.
Molded by it.
Yeah. He's an influencer. Actually, if you see his page, he's an influencer. He's a real estate investor. We got like few.
Yeah,
few
we wrote a
things on
few
his
things
page.
on it.
He's actually working with one brand. He's actually
He's he has a
he's
he has
modeling for a
brand.
shoe company.
He's modeling shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's modeling for a
Baby
shoe company
shoes,
in
like
the
that.
US.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Of course.
It could be cute for big shoes if you just like extended it and like.
No, he's actually really cute. Now he's like learning about, you know, he always sees the phone and he's grown up. Kids these days, like you grow up
course.
with a cell
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
So like when he's like on WhatsApp, you know, like FaceTiming like our family, he takes it and like he's like recording and he's like,
Oh, is he-
look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's like tortuga. And like he's like flipping the camera,
He's
like
flipping the camera,
showing.
look at this, look at this.
Yeah, like look at this. And he's like, look, that's a, you know, like he's
young-
like turtle.
so cute.
A young
rock.
director of photography. and
Yes,
making,
and he's
you
like
know?
going like that and like he
doing
takes.
his angles.
Yes, and he's like
Showing
look
off lifestyle.
And I'm
the
like,
rule of
Absolutely.
thirds.
he's not even
you know.
3 yet, and he's like already, you know, like
He's got the. I mean, obviously, you know, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So
It is an Apple product too. It is Apple.
But we are very aware, even with that though, we are really aware of not forcing him into, you know, like, oh, let's
Pose.
take the
Yeah, yeah,
perfect
yeah, yeah.
picture and stuff like that, because children still need to be children. And even though like this is a family page and we're creating family content, we don't want to force him, you know, like I know that there's a lot of that out there where like, you know, parents will like force their kids for the perfect picture and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, we've seen it a lot on social
yeah,
media.
so we do see that a lot, and I don't want that for like we don't want that for him. So, you know, we do try to let him be a kid and like we record, you know, like whatever he's doing at the moment, but it's not like, you know, say this or anything like that. Like we're
course.
not.
But arguably, like content now that's also performing better, and thanks to like the TikTok generation, people don't want that like the perfection, the perfect shot either.
Yeah.
They just want that like authenticity. They
Right.
just want this like the real. They just want to see what the real thing is, and I think in not forcing your child, you're giving basically the audience what they want.
Right.
Even if
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
not necessarily something that they've asked for. But in one of your sort of introductory videos to your channel as well, you kind of mentioned that Matteo kind of runs the show a little bit, and I wanted to know a little bit more like how he calls the shots, if he does, or
That's why he's not here, because he's not a very good team member. He takes all the attention.
He will.
So we're like, you ain't coming for this one.
gotta give mom and dad a bit of time to
Yeah.
drink some whiskey if they want to. But obviously, traveling is difficult, and now obviously adding a third member who's a young member, traveling with children can be hard.
Traveling is
you
not
mentioned,
difficult.
I
Traveling
mean, in a sort of maybe more.
It depends on the person. You know.
It depends on the
Yes.
person.
It depends on the person. If you're
It
very
does.
needy and like, oh, these people like this, and so then it is travel, but it is difficult. But if you're just like open and you're just like positive about everything, I mean, traveling is exciting.
Also,
Shouldn't be
if you're
difficult.
very much into like having a set schedule and plans, you know, when you have kids, sometimes there's been trips that were like we can't go on that like day trip because you know
we
like
cancel so many day
we have
trips in the
canceled
last 3 months.
so many things because Matteo has gotten sick,
Yeah.
and you know, so it's literally going with the flow. Like you have to go with the flow with with everything, you know, because situations happen where you just have to adjust and you have to accommodate. So, yeah.
So back to whatever you start saying with the traveling. I'm sorry cutting you off.
Well, no, I mean, you know, because you just mentioned it before, like maybe there's just a little bit more pre-planning that might have to go into this.
Yes.
So what
Yeah,
kind
of
of things
course.
might, you know, families who are a little bit scared to do traveling or content creation with their kids, what might be sort of some advice that you might have for them on that front in terms of what kind of pre-production or pre-planning into a trip?
So we're trying to schedule the week the way like, all right, so we want to post like so we right now posting 2 videos a week, which consider a lot for a lot of YouTubers, right? So we have like a schedule, like on a Tuesday we're gonna post like like an adventure that we did, like a 1-day adventure, and on a Sunday we're gonna post us in front of camera, just sitting in front of camera and telling what we did this week, including talking about that adventure, but not a full episode of that adventure.
It's like a weekly recap.
So we're planning it like, all right, so we have 1-day trip a week, which is great. The rest of the days to work. I won't say relax, but we don't relax and work, and you know, 2 days of editing. See it this way. But if you're traveling just 1 full day once a week, it's plenty. You know, kind of like to see different adventures.
Yeah,
So that's like
so-
the way we schedule it to ourselves.
Yeah, and it makes it much easier, you know, instead of, because also you do have to be realistic when you're traveling as a single person or as a couple. You can wake up and be like, oh, well, let's go hiking today and we're going to stay there and we're going to, you know, like sleep wherever life takes you.
Yeah.
Like you can't really do that just because you also have to think about your child. So a lot of the times when we do schedule a day trip, we make sure to be home by like 6 or 7 p.m., which is his bedtime.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where in the world we are. We have like his little routine set up. So it's like a routine without really a routine, but it's like
Yeah.
setting up a routine.
That's actually now when he's like 2.5,
Now
3
that
years
he's
old.
getting older. Yeah, when
Up
he was a
until a year
baby,
and
it
a
was
half,
like, whatever.
Dude, we had him sleeping in parties. We had him
Yeah.
like on a 10 months, and he would be like sleeping. Would be like party, and he was sleeping like right there, party.
Yeah,
not
so-
too loud. If it was too loud, no.
Yeah. No, but now
Yeah.
that he's, you know, getting older and he has his own needs that, you know, that he needs to, or else, you know, then it'll just be like miserable for everyone because he's sleepy, gets grouchy, like, you know, so we do set that up. Also, even with flight schedules, we do try to accommodate them to his sleep schedule.
Yeah.
And
That's a big one.
yeah, that's a big
That's
one.
a big one. We're
Yeah.
always taking night flights.
It's
It's a big one.
listeners at home,
Yeah.
accommodate
Night
children
flight.
to night flights.
Yeah, or
yeah.
if you're thinking about having kids, you know, like it's not going to stop your life, especially if you're into traveling and you want to see the world. You just have to learn to accommodate, and that comes with time because I feel like kids as they get older, it becomes like, you know, like you have to accommodate more. When they're first born, it's literally like you said.
It's like nothing.
It's
If you think about it, the way it's set up is so perfect. Even like pregnancy, you know, it's like 9 months. And it takes time to realize, okay, I'm going to be a parent. So you have like 9 months to prepare for it. The kicking starts slow, you know, so like actually like it prepares the whole house for this. And then when they're born, they're absolutely like, that's like nothing.
They
The
sleep
beginning
all
is the
day.
easy. Like the first 10 months is just like so easy. Guys, make kids. Stop waiting. just pop them out already. It's super easy. And then as it grows, you know, when you start crawling, it gets a little tougher because then you got to clean all the time. We were on the RV when he was crawling and it was raining. And then we have the dog and him crawling. So it's like, okay, this is on the floor. The dog's bringing in and out. And we clean the floor twice a day. So
Yeah.
then it's like, then you start walking. You start reaching to the knives and
Yeah.
put everything away. It's like, oh, things start to open. Oh, it's like, so.
So it happens
It's great.
gradually.
It
Yeah.
happens gradually.
Yeah.
Pop those kids.
Have them babies.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it takes a while to cook a human, so you know, it gives you time to prepare.
Yeah.
It gives you time
Everything.
To,
Well, I
Everything's
mean, if
great.
you're thinking,
if you're thinking about it,
Think about
just
it.
do it. It's like the Nike thing. Just do it.
just do it.
Knock on the neighbor's doors.
I wonder if I mean, there's a cultural thing here as well because you know, being Spanish, we were just talking about it. The culture there, at least with parents, is that they're so like overprotective of their children. You know, there is like this, ay mi niño, a mi niño no le toca ni el aire, which is like, you know, not even the wind's gonna touch my kid because I don't want,
Yes.
my kid's gotta be, and so
If you want to open this conversation about Evie's mother,
I
thinking
mean,
about like what are you guys doing in all these like third world countries?
oh my god,
crazy.
yeah,
Am I
my
opening-
parents. No, my parents just call us like every time that they hear. Like we don't even like. They find out obviously because they like follow our content like all the time. There's been times I had to, you know, like hide my mom stories from my mom.
Literally block them for the.
But then she finds out anyway from like all her friends and stuff that follow us. So my mom sees everything, but like she's like, oh my goodness, you have to be careful everywhere you go. She's like, por el pobre Matteo, your child, think about your child, think about his future. And I'm like, Ma, like, relax, we're fine.
Arguably, you're giving Matteo a heck of a future here as well. You're setting him up.
Yeah.
You're setting him up for. You're growing him up.
A page. We have a page for him. Yes, that's whatever he.
Yes.
Could be able to do whatever he
but
wants.
But also, you know, kind of coming from that, from a bilingual background, you're teaching him multiple languages.
Yes.
That already, like, starting when they're super young, that's already going to be a huge benefit in the future to be able to speak more than just English, because I think obviously English is
so
very
yeah,
important
we really focus on that, on speaking to him. I'm Dominican and Greek, so you know, like I want him to learn Spanish and Greek, and then he's Israeli, so he speaks Hebrew to him, so he constantly has all these languages thrown at him.
No, but it's good. It's good. Obviously, with Matteo being able to speak multiple languages, you are kind of setting him up for absolute success there. But I think one of the challenges that you'll find with moving around a lot as well as a family is, what about general sort of education for Matteo or anyone who's...
No school.
No. How does that know? I mean, obviously, how does that work for parents who are thinking of continuing to be able to travel and they still want their child to have...
I think it all depends. Like, we're gonna see as we go. Our mindset was always like, we're probably going to end up homeschooling him. But then when we got here to Bali, we found this amazing school, and he actually, like, we were like, oh wow, that's a school, they have like a gym program. When he saw it, like a gymnastics program, when he saw it, he ran in, and we were like, oh my God, everything that they offered was like really amazing. So we enrolled him, and he was in school here in Bali.
Amazing.
But again, he's still 2.5 years old, you know, so it's like not a real school. But when you come to traditional school, I'm kind of like heavy thinking about it. I think it's too you know, old school. You know, like thinking about like kids going to school and they cannot use their phone, for example, to answer a test. It's not realistic anymore, because nobody lives without a phone anymore. So I hope in the next 10 years they're gonna change the way school works. You know, like learn how to solve problems, even using your phone. You need to have a level of IQ to solve certain problems, not just teaching people memory. You know,
of course.
There's a wrong mistake. I can go deep here by mistake, but I'm trying not to.
No. I think I can see where you're going with this.
So I think there's a big mistake with the older generation, that they're confusing intelligent with memory. So a lot of times people tell you, oh, this guy is really intelligent because he's a doctor, or because he has a good memory and he passed some type of an exam. Because passing an exam and get a degree, it means you have a good memory, right? I have a horrible memory, but I know how to solve problems. Yeah. So it's a complete different things. And now, like, kids going to school, they trying to... I mean, think about it. Think about, like, we don't know it. Imagine you are 14 years old and you go to school and somebody tells you, don't use your phone. What do you mean? I was born with this machine. This is like a third arm. Or it's actually my second brain. Or maybe 3/4 of my brain, because it's way smarter than who I am. So, like, how can you even separate at this point? Isn't that wild? Like,
I mean, also, we were just talking about the idea of like escaping the 9 to 5, right? So you want to be able to live out your dreams, whatever. And I think a big source of that problem usually comes from the education system as it's set up now.
Yeah.
You go to school, you have certain subjects that you have to become a good memorizer in. You have to learn these subjects, pass well on tests, and then the cycle of life says you pass school, you go to university, you have to graduate, you have to then get a job in what you've graduated in, you have to go and find someone, you have to buy a house, you have to get married, and go into boring 9 to 5 job, because that's what life is, right? And then kind of setting them up at a young age to say that's not what this is about. Live out your dreams. Look, you know, this is how we're doing it.
It's beautiful. The world is changing, because like people going to work 9 to 5. Look, like we're thinking about the hours. We don't think about what you do or how much you deliver. Because some people can deliver a lot of stuff in 9 to 5 or like in 8 hours or whatever. And some people can deliver nothing in 8 hours. I think in actually London is the first place. I saw like an article 2 months ago that a lot of factories moved from 6 days a week to 5 days a week, and they proved they can produce the exactly same amount of products in just 5 days and give 2 days off. Did you see that? It was a big article. I actually sent it to our friends from UK. So think about that. So you can actually offer people, all right, so all these years we're working 6 days a week, 9 to 5, we produced this many boxes a month. Let's see if we can do the same thing in 5 days. Everybody get exact the same pay, but we all get 2 days off. It naturally motivates people to actually push those extra 10 minutes every hour that usually just don't do anything. So I think we're heading in that direction. I think We're heading in a
your
great direction.
if your value is based on the hours that you spend on an office rather than the work that you produce,
Yeah.
then you find yourself going to work at 9 a.m. and leaving at 5 p.m. on the dot, because that's where your value has been based, and you're not kind of pushing
Right.
Exactly.
the limit of what you're actually able to achieve. And so, in kind of teaching young children at a young age that isn't what life has to be, that we can really explore the limits of what what makes
Value.
us happy and value, and
Focus on
kind
the
of
value now,
Yeah,
now on the time.
not on the
Now-
time.
Yeah. So it's-
So congratulations, obviously, kind of being able to instill that on Matteo, especially at a young age. And obviously, he's only 3, but there's a lot of about to turn 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, about to turn 3. But then obviously, the future is just endless. Like the whole world's going to be his oyster.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are starting to realize that. I think the pandemic was a really eye opener, like you said before. People are starting to realize that, because the 9 to 5, I call it the cubicle mindset, because you basically are working your whole life to never leave the cubicle, whether it's at work, whether it's the cubicle of your home. So, there's so many things that people are like, oh, well, I'm going to get that job because I have insurance benefits. Well, I'm not leaving that job because, it might not pay so well, but, it has all these like perks, and, when you get your 1 week vacation. So I think that the world is changing. A lot of people are starting to realize the power that they hold also with their phones. I think that, like I said, the pandemic was an eye-opener, because a lot of even companies were able to see we can do the same work remotely. So education also started to shift towards that direction. I think it still needs fine-tuning and working, because I think a lot of people were also operating during the pandemic in like panic mode, like, oh my God, it was very hard for a lot of parents. I spoke to a lot of parents. For us, it didn't affect us in that way, because Matteo he was a newborn basically, but all of our friends that did have jobs and had to homeschool their children, a lot of them were like going crazy, because they're like, now I have to be a teacher and I have to be a parent, and I can't even go to my job. So now you do see that shift, that it has globally around the world. People had to resort to their phones to be able to teach. But I think that it's just a matter of time when everything, starts to really be put into place with the technology that we have and education and how to deliver that to children. So hopefully we see that in the next couple of years, because we still haven't really explored our options when it comes to the exact way that we're going to educate Matteo. For now, like, we do what seems right,
Yep.
We do have a teacher coming home every single day and teaching him stuff.
Yeah, so if you guys are wondering where he's at, he's actually with his teacher, and we found someone that, teaches him according to his age, and she does like a lot of activities with him that are like sensory. They're like Montessori based,
Certified.
yes, yeah, like based activities and whatnot. So so we go with what we feel are his needs, and we will obviously every parent wants to give the best to their child. So we do think about what is the best way that will bring him up, but also educate him, and also be aware of his needs and what he's going to want to do in life.
Well, some really, really pretty cool parents in the house over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Well,
so
the best way, I'm just gonna finish it with the best way is to give the kids attention. Okay, we're not gonna make this whole podcast about kids, but the best way is about attention. A lot of times you see a lot of people that come from rich families and stuff like that they're growing up and in their 30s, and they're like kind of like not balanced, and you talk to them, and like you kind of like peel all the like layers, and you get into a deep conversation. All you hear is like, yeah, I wish my dad was there more, because dad like worked so hard so he can buy this big house, he can build this big pool and stuff like that. Kids don't know the difference between a pool or a bucket of water. If anything, a bucket looks much more fun, because like, oh, let's prepare the bucket, like, so there's a lot of things. So we're not focusing on anything but the experience, but the attention. So we're always focusing
being present.
Yeah,
right?
being present. So that's our main focus. So right now you break my heart with this podcast, because he's somewhere else right now. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, if you're wondering if
balance, we got to balance.
If Al is a present dad, I can hand on heart tell you, not from first-hand experience, but you shared a beautiful, beautiful video on Father's Day that I saw on your Instagram, which was so special. Obviously celebrating what an incredible father Al is. But,
He truly is.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's but yeah, it's very endearing to see. It's very nice that you can celebrate that in your content as well. That can become content as well there that you can share and to celebrate each of you individually as what then becomes a part of a bigger team.
Yes, and I think it's so important. Like, that's real, you know, like what I expressed on Father's Day towards him, like it's real, and I hope that more men can see that, you know, because even within my own family, like, you know, I come from a culture where like the woman is supposed to do everything and women take care of a child.
Yeah.
So when he started, you know, like even changing diapers, my dad's like super Greek. He's like,
we've seen that.
Evie, what is this?
Hilarious.
You know, he would tell Al, like, he's like, Al, I never do this. I never clean the diapers. And
I'm like, nobody touching my son's ass but me.
yeah, and he's like, and then my grandma's like, wow, like that is so amazing. Like my
We're
grandma's like,
experiencing that so many times.
yeah,
It's
yeah, so many
we go to
times.
Dominican Republic and like I would go and do dishes, you know, just like, and they're like, people only gonna be like, wow, your husband does dishes.
Yeah, like they're like so surprised, like, wow, a man never should, you know, like wow, you're so lucky, Evie, like he does the dishes. And I'm like, wow, but like
It's crazy.
we're like, you know, living
It
in
is
this day and
crazy.
age where like it needs to be a partnership, you know, and a team, yeah. And that's the only way to succeed.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the on the sort of kind of circling back a little bit to the content though, did you ever find at any points that you maybe felt like this might be hard, this might be more difficult than we thought it could as a family, as a unit, in terms of content creation, or has it just been really?
Oh, like us trying to force ourselves going to a waterfall in Bali?
Oh,
Yes, it is challenging. You cannot see waterfalls in Bali with a baby. No, you can, but it's not the same experience, you know?
Yeah,
You know?
it's so.
You remember the single lives, you know, you go, you jump in the water, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, waterfall, let's jump on the cliff.
But we haven't thought that this isn't for us, you know, like like when we've never thought like, okay, this is something that we cannot do. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, like we can't go and, you know, film a waterfall. Like we discovered that early on, like when we were in Mexico trying to, you know, record cenotes, and we're like, what are we doing? Like, this is like impossible. Like you have to like climb with rocks, and we're here with like a stroller. And then like, you know, there's certain places that you just like, it's just very difficult. So then now like we do try to do our research, not just for, you know, not just for us, but also for our son, so he can enjoy things that we're taking him to, not just like, you know, going back to like creating content just to create content.
I just remember the one in Mexico, and we went to Cuba, and like they say you cannot bring strollers. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get that bag that, you know, you put the baby in the back. That sounds so easy.
Mateo was
you
a
know?
heavy baby.
And you know, like, and then like we walk in 2 hours, and after like 6 kilometers, I am dying. I'm absolutely, I'm like,
And I'm like,
dying.
babe, how do you feel? He's like,
I curse my. If you see, I said on a video after this podcast, I'm just like dying. I was like, this is not even fun. He doesn't even understand shit that's going on right now. Why are we even doing this? Like, it's like I was sweating. You know, it's Mexico and like, I don't know, April or May, sweating just to go see pyramids. I mean, like, I was like, I'm like, all right, no.
Yeah, so we try to find, you know, places that are kids friendly. And even like if we did, like we went to the waterfall like a few weeks ago, Tabutan.
It was easy. Yeah.
That was like an easy waterfall. So we don't do anything with like long hikes.
Or climbing or
We did that. We went to
extreme.
in Peru, we did the Rainbow Mountain, which is like 72,000 feet above sea level.
See, but that we did. It wasn't too hard.
No,
like,
because you weren't carrying. He was not carrying Mateo.
You're saying like you were carrying Matteo.
I was. We had
We have it on camera.
We had help. Yes, we had. Okay, so let me tell you guys what happened. We go to Rainbow Mountain. We're like, yes, we're gonna go to the Rainbow Mountain. It's so beautiful. We're gonna do like family content there. And then as we get there, first of all, there's climate.
Rainbow Mountain is a drive. You
acclimation.
drive up most of the time, and then there's like a 2-hour wait. You do 1 hour on a horse. So I said with Matteo on a horse, it's this horse is smaller than a donkey. I don't know why they even call it a horse. It looks like a big dog.
Yeah.
Okay, it's small. And then me and Matteo, I can tell you, it wasn't so comfortable sitting with Matteo on a one chair the whole time for like an hour, and the horse is like literally like crawling like a. Anyway,
And then he's getting
like,
altitude sick. He got altitude
and it was only like
sickness.
45 minutes walk uphill, but you can't breathe.
You can't.
Yeah, it's like 2 steps and you stop. 2 steps and you stop.
Yeah.
So I held him a little bit. Then
he didn't
she
want
had
to
a
be
little bit.
held. He didn't want to be held by anyone but me. And I was like, oh my god, like.
Thanks.
So he was like crying, and then we had people that wanted to help us, but he was like, no, like that day was like mommy day, and I started crying, and then I was crying with him. We had to take breaks, and then I was like, it was like so close yet so far away type of thing, and I was like,
And we had
oh.
our camera guy with us, and he's like a 22 years old.
He was like a gymnast. He was like going
a
up
gymnast.
and down,
No, he was a
like-
gymnast. One of those guys that just like pop flips everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he took Matteo, and he just ran up there, and he's like with Matteo, like up
And
there.
Mateo's, like,
me
crying
and
'cause he
me-
didn't
and
wanna,
me and
like,
Evie like
get
holding the
held.
bars, like. It's so far. I can't breathe. And Tristan just like running up there with Matteo. Like, come guys, like it's just like running.
Sounds like the best family trip ever.
Yeah.
Make sure you use those words in your keywords to rank well in search
The
engines.
best.
Exactly.
The best.
But it was great.
Yeah.
We actually did enjoy it.
When we got to the top, it was like, oh my god.
I was laughing through the challenge because it was like, really, you can't breathe. It's the first time it's 17,000 feet. You can't breathe up
No.
there. You can't. 5 steps and you just. there's no air here.
No, but there's a good thing as well here is that you guys are sharing that with other. I mean, obviously, your big part of it is you're inspiring other parents or people who want to travel as a family, but you are sharing it like on your social channels of like what are good activities to do, what are
Yes.
maybe-
Yeah, if it's
and
not
obviously-
good, we say it's not good.
If it's not good, it's
Don't
not
do
good.
it.
Yeah,
Don't.
exactly.
Just don't.
But obviously, you're adding a lot of value there. It's always important to add value on any social media platform. It is to some degree how you grow, even if the value isn't through education. If it's just through a good story that's told well. But there is obviously good value in you guys sharing these experiences for the parents. And obviously, I'm sure that there's loads of parents out there that are very appreciative of.
Yeah, we do,
everything
but we
you've done.
do try to put like all the places that kids can go to, like even family friendly restaurants that have like playgrounds and stuff like that. Because as you start to, navigate and like you're traveling and you're going to places to eat, some places are not, kid friendly. And so we do try to include that in our content so families can see like, oh, okay, like they went there, and we get so many people that write to us like, oh, where do you recommend us going in, like, like places that we've never been to, like they're like, where should we go in like Zimbabwe? I'm like, we haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes like we even like do help them in the sense like, okay, like, we
Look for that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
help them
yeah.
like look for.
This is how I do my research. Here's how you can probably do it
yes. So we
yourselves.
do
Yeah, yeah.
help them. But we do get a lot of people asking us like, oh, what do you recommend like with traveling and like healthcare and like a long flight? Like, what do you do? So we travel with a car seat. So
parents, if you're out there, travel is epic. They're gonna give you a hand. And also, actually, overall of this as well is that you are collecting your memories and you're sharing
Yes.
them. And it's like this digital.
it's like a
photo album.
Yeah.
Because people don't print photos anymore, or
Yeah.
not as frequently as they used to.
Mm-hmm.
It's still kind of retro thing to buy yourself a 35mm camera and maybe take some snaps, but it becomes more artistic rather than the only way of being able to collect these memories.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you put them on a phone, you lose your phone, you haven't backed them up, but being able to post them online becomes
Yeah.
this like digital photo album. Where
We
you can
actually
always-
stepping up that game, and we decided to do flashcards for Matteo. So we have pictures of like Matteo with the alpacas in Peru. Because it's on your phone, but you don't really open it all the time. But imagine if you have like actually that was the teacher recommendation. To have like a book, so you can like you have like one Mexico, and it's like a bunch of pictures of you guys in
Of
Mexico.
us, yeah.
And then like another page of Peru, another
Yeah.
picture of Colombia, like all these countries that we did. And then we said we're also gonna do like flashcards. Like, hey, you remember that? Oh, alpaca. And like, you remember this one?
Yeah, because he
Oh,
learned so
caballo.
much. Everywhere we go, he even like picks up some of the language of wherever we're at, and so that's like what we like plan on doing everywhere we go to visit.
Beautiful. So if you had one tip, one most
Don't
important
do
tip.
it. That's the tip. Don't do it.
I was gonna say just do it.
Yeah, but one tip for families that might be a little bit nervous to kind of put themselves out there in terms of content or traveling with young kids, what would be your tip
Start-
to them? We've got a camera there, so maybe you want to...
So I would say start local. If you guys are looking to start traveling with your kids, start taking day trips wherever you're at, just so like that you can start getting comfortable with the idea of taking longer trips. So like that maybe you don't have to leave your country, but you can leave either your state, start to go to different cities with the kids. And again, plan around their schedule, because a lot of things, people are like, oh, let's go extreme. See what your kids' needs are and work around that, and it makes it easier for the whole entire family.
Beautiful.
But start local.
Start local.
Yeah.
Start where you know.
Yeah.
I'll
Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, and just do it. And if
do
you're
it.
thinking,
You know, I mean, not just for family. I think for everyone out there who's trying to do anything, right? The biggest fear is like, I don't want to lose what I have, even though sometimes people hate what they have. They just don't want to lose that kind of comfort, right? And what I tell people all the time, come visit us in Bali. Oh no, but I can't. I was like, no, fuck it, man, just quit your job. I was like, yeah, quit your job. He's like, no, I can't lose my job, bro. I worked there for 5 years. I was like, well, guess what? If you are good at that shit, when you come back, they will take you back. If they don't take you back, that means you sucked and they didn't know how to fire you. It's that simple. And you know what? If you really like it, you will never ask to go back, so you just never know until you try. So whatever thing you think that holds you, just do it. You can always take a step back, right? We can all go back to wherever we came from, right? None of us from Bali. We can all just like, that doesn't work. I'll go back to my parents' house and I'll figure something out, right? You can always go back. But if you don't try to go forward, how will you go forward?
also with the power that we have in our hands, social media is literally, you can do everything through your phone these days. Like, do not ever think, like, oh my God, I don't have the money for it. You have your phone. If you can use your phone, you can use it to make you money. I can tell you, because I come from a career that was supposed to be making me like so much money, and I was not making, like the money on television that people thought that I was making. And social media showed me that like I had the tools in my hands the whole entire time.
Yeah.
It's just taking it and actually, doing it. Put in the action.
Put in the action.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Literally, just do it.
Awesome.
Do it.
I have, by the way, I prepared a little game for you guys. I don't know if you guys wanted to take part.
Back to back, picking
but-
up the shoe. Who was who first? Like on it.
Do you know what? You're not wrong. It's not with a shoe, but you're close.
Okay.
So I've actually basically prepared for a little set of questions that I'm going to ask you guys. And we're going to basically give you each 5 sheets of paper with a board marker.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you both a question. And without looking at each other's answers, I want you both to write an answer at the same time. And then
Okay.
reveal it at the same time. We're going to see if you both get it right. In a segment that we like to call, How Well Do You Know? We have a huge budget for jingles. So that was...
Oh my God, if it's jingles, he knows every single one of them. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna like every song jingle.
Jingle?
No, he just said he did it because they don't have the money for jingles. So he just did the jingle himself.
Yeah.
Oh, I
just-
thought this was like a jingle, like name that jingle. I was like, he's gonna win.
No, no,
Like I'm like I'm like,
No.
I'll be like, what is the jingle bell?
Who is slower with jokes? Evie.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is write your answers out, one answer per card, and you're going to show them this way, and then on the count of 3, you can reveal them to your camera
And
over
he
there.
can't see them.
No, well, you can't see them as you're writing them, so just try not to look at each other's
Okay.
answers. And then on the count of 3, we'll show the camera, and then see if you both got the same answer. That's the key thing, is that you're both getting the same answer here, because
Okay.
it's the idea of how well do you know? It's a shit jingle, but I'm gonna be okay with it. So, question number 1 is how well do you know Matteo, right? What is Matteo's favorite color?
Whoa.
Oh, he's like 2.5.
You might not have asked him, but what color is he drawn to, maybe?
Well, I'm gonna say just because. Okay.
Yeah?
I mean, he's not here to like verify these answers.
But let's see if we think this.
Let's see if we think
Good
the
one. I
same.
like this question.
Yeah, me too.
We did think about this. We were like, wait, hold on a second.
These are
I don't
folded. Am I
think-
supposed to like?
No. Just keep them like that.
No,
It's just,
no, we're
so
just
that
kidding.
it's like,
Oh, okay. So they could be like, okay. So you don't see. Okay.
don't make me feel bad. Don't make me feel bad, Al. Have you got an answer written else?
Are we gonna flip it now?
We're gonna flip it and show it
Okay.
to the camera on the count of 3. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So,
Dying to know which one you
oh,
Blue.
Blue whale, blue.
That's a song. It doesn't mean that's his favorite
okay.
song.
So,
Which color does he say?
For those of you-
Verde all the
for
time.
those of you at home,
Verde.
Avi wrote out the color blue, and Al wrote out the color green. But unfortunately,
we don't have
Matteo
that.
here to verify whether either of them is right. Now,
Evie was thinking of a song that he sings a lot.
Because he sings the blue whale song all the time.
then
No,
I'm
we
going to
can't argue
take.
about it.
Then
We can argue
I'm-
about it, but we can argue
you
about it.
But we can't.
You can take that one home. I'm going to go it's something about a blue whale and take blue as the answer. We'll give the point to Evie. Okay,
Because she's wearing blue, she hopes he likes the same color that she likes.
I love
She's wearing
the
blue.
color blue.
color
so
blue.
we're good.
Okay. Question number 2. What is Matteo's least favorite food?
Oh, he's actually
He
very
barely
picky.
eats.
He barely eats.
Is there anything that he maybe rejects?
Oh yeah, we can say what he normally rejects.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's not about food. It's more about like type of food.
Yeah.
Type of
Oh,
food.
yeah.
We'll go with type of food.
Okay. Okay.
So, like,
Type of food.
I don't know how to spell this.
What type of food does Matteo like the least?
Okay.
Yeah?
I don't know how to spell.
I know what you're gonna write. I should.
Well, I guess we'll
Spelling
see.
is not my thing.
Spelling not the forte. Okay,
Okay, you already wrote it, so I don't know. I want to
Okay.
say like mushy stuff.
Mush.
Okay.
Yeah.
there we go.
how do you say
Mushy
mushy?
food.
Mushy.
Yeah, okay, that's how I want.
What did you write?
He put the M for
I put that.
mushy.
But I said mushy food before she showed it because
Okay.
I knew that's
Yeah.
the answer. Mushy food. He doesn't like
Hey,
mushy stuff.
ding ding ding! They both get a point. Well done.
Where's the
Mushy
jing-
food.
what-
What's the prize?
No, where's the jingle
What?
for the bing bing bing?
Oh.
It's like ding ding ding. You.
Oh,
you,
that was the jingle.
You got it right. You both got it right.
Oh, we got rice.
Oh.
Bali.
Congratulations.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, next question, and I'm actually really glad because you brought this up earlier. I want to know what are, based off of your content that you've shared, what are the 4 best family-friendly restaurants in Bali?
Oh.
Easy.
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 Yeah.
It's 4 because it's really like
It's 4.
4.
Okay, there was 4 that were shared. So I'm interested to know what are the 4 best family-friendly restaurants in Bali.
Oh my god! This is like.
Actually, we made a reel about it. So
We did. We made like a
Exactly.
whole reel on it.
Exactly.
La, na, na, na.
That was the question. In your opinion, what are the 4 best family-friendly? And hopefully you guys.
which one paid us most?
Hey, wait! You're not allowed to share answers.
I said no. Which one paid us most? So we can put it first.
Share it.
Wait, I'm missing one.
I know it's the same one that I'm missing, but because you never went there.
Oh, I know, but I remember the name. Actually, I did go.
You did?
Bam.
Yeah, I went with him afterwards.
Okay. Have we got 4 answers written out?
Yeah.
That was easy.
That was
Do
so
you wanna
easy.
Yeah, okay. What, easier than questions about your own child? Okay.
We put them in the same order.
Okay, cool. Let's check it out.
Yeah,
So,
we
look
did.
at look at the order.
Same order.
Let's check it out.
The
So
order.
number 1, Milk and Madu. Number 2, Park Life. Number 3, Timor Gallery. And number 4, Made? Made? Made's Warung. Congratulations.
I like
ding,
the
ding,
order
ding.
part.
I know, we got it
You
in the
guys got
same
it in the
order.
exact same order. Not the same order I had it written in, which is the order that you shared it in your reel. But that's,
Cheater. You're a
that's,
cheater.
that's less important. You definitely got all 4 right. And that's phenomenal. Next question. You ready?
Are we actually getting the rice because we're hungry?
Oh, your food should be arriving soon.
Oh, okay. No,
Oh, we're getting.
It's not that. You just said you're getting 4 rice, so I just wonder.
Oh, do
No.
you know what? That's my accent. It's I say
For
right,
right.
but it's because of the T.
No, I thought you were saying it's a joke. Rice.
No, right.
You actually really said.
We're getting
right?
4
Yeah.
grains of
You
rice.
really said right.
If I say
I thought you said it's a joke, like rice.
no. If I say the word great, usually because of my accent, I'll say grace, and it'll come out with like that little.
Grace.
Really?
Which is like an Irish thing. Okay, cool. Let's not dwell on that. Number 4. What would Matteo's name have been if he was a girl?
Oh, that's easy too.
It's a great question.
It's like a fly.
How are we spelling it though? Because it's 2 ways. to
Okay,
spell it.
ready on the count of 3. 1,
No,
2,
you can
3.
you can spell Sophia. No.
Oh,
with
they
PH.
both wrote.
Right?
They both wrote Sophia. Ding, ding, ding. They got it right. Congratulations, you're doing really well in this.
I heard the right this time, and not rice.
Okay, Grace.
Grace.
Okay, the last question that I have for you of the game is that in December 6th, 2020, you shared a black and white photo where Evie was sat on a white Yamaha grand piano. Al, you were sat
Easy.
playing this piano.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
Singing. Here's the
Yeah,
photo in case you don't know
easy,
which
yeah.
one it was.
Yeah.
Question is, what song was Al singing? Write it out. For those of you at home, I think I've described the photo well enough. White grand piano. Evie sat upon it. Sort of, sat on it like it was a chaise longue.
Yes.
And Al, you were playing
Oui,
it
oui.
with your mouth wide open as if you were singing.
The song was
Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing fake. He wasn't singing a song. Although, right before we started recording, he was very happily singing into the mic.
I'm not singing. There's no way I'm gonna sing
he
recording.
sings so
No,
good.
there's no way I'm
He's got-
singing.
No,
There's
no,
way
no.
I'm
He's
singing
like
recording.
professional.
Got some
I
good
swear to God.
vocals. Got some good vocals.
He really is.
It's really great. Well done. That was the game we had for you. But I don't want to wrap up just yet because I wanted to know before you leave us.
We're gonna win a car.
You're gonna be leaving. you're going to be leaving
Motorcycle.
Indonesia very, very soon, and you've got some big travel plans, haven't you? I believe you're going to be going to about 10, 15?
14, I think 14 or 15
countries.
countries. I lost count.
But before you go on that trip, I also want to commend you on the fact that you did some incredible charity work earlier this week, if I'm not mistaken. So tell me a little bit more about
That was beautiful.
that.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, Monday.
Yeah, we went to an orphanage, and we had like a whole day for them. Well, we met them, we sang with them. They prepared some songs. They surprised me that they knew a song in Hebrew. That was I was
so
blown away. They're very
beautiful.
Christian, and they know like some songs about like Jerusalem and stuff like that. So I was blown away. And we actually we prepared them like a bag for each one, with like a bag to school with like some tools and PJs and underwears and socks and shirts and gifts, like cute stuff.
And then we went to the movie theater with
They never been to a movie theater.
Yeah.
25 kids between the age of 4 and 17 never been to the movie theater. And we took them to the movie theater, and we all had like sweet and salty popcorn and Coca-Cola, even though they was trying not to teach them about Coca-Cola, but they're 17 years old. They know about Coca-Cola. I was like, no, they can choose like what they want. So at the beginning, like one day they say, no, we got water. I was like, no. Popcorn goes with Coca-Cola at the movie theater.
Yeah, so they had a blast. And
We watched the Minions. It was hilarious.
But thank you for obviously that charitable work that you do, because not a lot of people can, on top of everything that you're doing, still take a bit of time out of their day to do something charitable for others.
Exactly.
So,
it's the time of your day. Exactly. It's not about the money.
It's about the money. It's the time of the
It's
day.
about the time of the day.
Yeah. So thank you.
No,
for
and
that.
we truly believe that if we can help or serve people, whether it's through inspiration or like physically helping, and I think that, in any way that as human beings we can help out other human beings with whatever it is, like sometimes it could be just like like a little bit. You can
Just an act of kindness. Anything.
can
It can even be a
change.
smile at the end of the day. Like just something to show people.
Yes, and it can move and change someone's life,
Yeah.
So we truly believe in that, and hopefully we hope that the more we grow, the more we can do that as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And up next, we have 14 countries coming up, starting tomorrow. You're
Starting
taking a flight,
tomorrow.
so obviously thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you for having us.
here.
Thank you for having us.
But yeah, tell me a little bit more about this this trip you guys have planned. List me the countries as
I
quickly
can
as
see the
possible.
whole country. That's awesome. All right, so tomorrow we are going to India. We're going to be in Mumbai for 10 days. We have a lot of friends from India, so we're going to visit them. Then August 2nd, we are going to Greece. We're going to be at our home in Greece for 2 weeks in a beautiful city called... Shh, got it. Nobody needs to know about that place. It's a beautiful place.
We don't like sharing.
We're not inviting nobody to our place.
We're editing that out, yeah?
It's like such a hidden gem
It's a hidden
that
gem.
it's like
Okay.
You guys are invited. Not you guys, though. Yeah, so we're going to be in Greece for 2 weeks, and then we're driving 2 hours to the port in Ugominica in Greece. And from there, you can go with your car on a ferry to Italy. And you arrive after, I think it's 9 hours by ferry. You arrive in Bari in Italy, which is just like an hour from the Amalfi Coast. And then we're going to be spending like 4 days, 3 nights in each city. So we start at the Amalfi Coast, then we're going to Rome, Florence, Rome, Pisa, Milano, Lake Como. Then we're doing Switzerland for a few days. And then from Switzerland, we're going to Germany. It sounds crazy, especially for families, but you do everything by car, and it's only 3 hours away.
he clearly planned all this.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just like,
I have a dress for this.
Evie's just nodding on the side. Just kind
Yeah, so we got.
We're going there.
So we got Italy. I'm gonna mirror the map to the camera. So we got Greece is here, and then we're going to Italy. From Italy, we're going to Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and then we're going down to not Bosnia. That one. I forgot.
All right, clearly he didn't plan it.
I forgot. Not Bosnia. Those that would be.
Bulgaria.
Not this one. Another one. And then Holland, then Croatia, and then Bosnia, and then Macedonia, and then
Back to
Serbia, then Macedonia, then back to Greece.
Cool.
So that'll be about 2 months.
And hopefully there'll be a bit of sleep in between all of that as well.
It's not that hard.
It's
It's only 3 hours
it's
drive
only
every
each
day.
drive
Every 3 days. Every 4 days you're doing
Goes to show, you don't have to...
you're doing
be
3
traveling
nights in the
ages.
hotel, and you drive for 3 hours, and you're in a new country, and then you do another 3
That's
nights.
the beauty of Europe. You're in a completely new country. We did last year. We did the whole Balkan area, and we went through 4 different seasons in one day. Like it was summer,
That's
and then all of a
crazy.
sudden it turned into fall, and then
It
all of a sudden
was
we're like,
crazy.
we are in the tundra. It is snowing. Like it was like a blister, and we were like in t-shirts, and then all of a sudden it turned back warm again. We're like, this is wild. We
In
did
one day.
4 seasons
It was
in one day.
crazy. That was the craziest drive of my life.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Well, I can only wish you the very, very best of luck with your trip, with obviously with the future of your content creation with Matteo. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Before we wrap it up, I just want to actually just give you an opportunity to any followers you have, to any people who might not be following you. If you've got any last things, any last messages you want to share with them, now's your chance.
Well, guys, we are the Travel is Epic family, and we hope you have enjoyed this show. Well, no, but for real, on the real, if you guys would love to get some family tips, inspiration, and see a little bit of our family and what we do and how we do it, follow us on Travel is Epic. We are on all the platforms as Travel is Epic, so every single platform that you are on, we're on, and hopefully we can inspire you to travel the world with your family.
Beautiful. Join us next week for another Lost Creator podcast. And if you're at home, have a drink with me. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.